Hey, welcome back. Today we will be discussing how the market look like right now. We will be going through major markets, and the global market will perspective will be appear once we complete analyzing almost all the major markets. We are looking at the prominent global markets like US, China, Europe, Japan, India, South Africa, and Australia to understand the global picture, how the market has performed. That will give the each and every market how this market has moved. Will give an overview of the general trend in the global market right now. We'll start with US market. We can see that US market has gone up nearly 0.16 percentage. That is a clear growth what we are seeing in the US market. That means US market buyers have a slight edge over sellers. At the beginning, the market was somewhere near 5778.12, and right now it stands at 5836.22. That is what we have discussed earlier as 0.16 percentage growth. Unlike the trend we have witnessed in the previous day or day before previous day, the trend in Europe does not mirror the performance the market has shown in US. That means Europe stands out today with an bearish performance of 0.46 percentage. That indicates that something has led happened in the Europe has encouraged the market to stay away from the general trend that we have seen in the major US market. That needs an deeper analysis because generally the European market follow the trend in US. If something deviations are happening between US market and European market, that indicates that there is some general miscommunication, or there is some general specific kind of changes has happened in that particular market. Then that is an indication is what we are seeing in the European market, which give an impression that there is some kind of regional specific changes has happened in the European market that led the market to stay away from the general trend that we have witnessed in the US market. And another perspective is that the major trend we have witnessed, the buyers are have a dominance in the US market. That is true, but still the dominance is very small, like 0.16%. It indicates that US market buyers only have a slight edge. That also gives an explanation that why the European market does not have the support of a strong trend in the US market. That will explain, even though the European market is down, it is not that much deviated from the general trend. It's important to understand the Asian markets. We have already understand that European and US market, though are showing different kind of trends, are slightly matching the performance in terms of the general trend. Like even though the US market is up and European market is down, the margin is very uh, limited, very less. Here we it's time to understand the situation in Asian markets. The major Asian markets are China, Japan, and India. We can see that Chinese market has seen a tremendous growth. It At the beginning it was somewhere at 3159.43, and right now it stands at 3216.00. That is an 1.75 percentage growth we have seen in the Chinese market. That indicates that something has helped the market. There is some kind of positive trend in the Chinese market that is favoring the buyers in general. They have uh, established their control in the market. Buyers have established their control in the market consistently, and they have maintained their control consistently. And the buyers have succeeded in pushing the price of the market consistently upwards in the first few hours of the day. That gives an impression that the buyers has an advantage in the Chinese market right now. The trend in Japan is exactly opposite of what we have seen in the Chinese market. Japanese market has come down from somewhere near 38,904.63 to 3870.21. The market has come down in just a couple of hours after it has opened for the day. Right now, it stands at 38,371.11. That is a 2.09% growth. There is a potential for the market to go up, considering the fact that European US market and the Chinese market is favoring an upward trend. The time is left in this market to go up. That indicates that there is this downward momentum that we have seen in the Japanese market cannot be considered as a conclusive reaction we can see in the trend. It's in the market. And in the Chinese market, the trend is, in the first few hours, the trend is completely favorable to buyers. In the Japanese market, what we see is a vice versa, that the trend is completely favoring the sellers. Indian market, it has begun at 9:15 a.m. In Indian IST, Indian Standard Time. That has gone up to 23225.55 within a few minutes after it has opened, and now it stands at somewhere near 23166.05. It is interpreted as a 0.33% growth, considering the fact that US market and the Chinese major Asian markets like China is favoring an upward momentum. There are chances for the Indian market to go up further upwards in the coming hours. We are looking at an positive perspective or positive growth in the US Indian market in the coming hours. The possibility for an upward momentum is higher than a chance for an plummetion. In the South African market, we have seen a very depressing movement. It has come down from 283,246,242.86 to 820.045.80. That is 1.70% downfall we have witnessed in the South African market. South Africa, as we all know, is a major market in Africa. That the downward momentum in the South Africa will have an will communicate that the major capitalist market in Africa is in the downtrend, is what the South African market communicates right now. It is majorly following. From today's performance, we can give a conclusive view that today South African market are majorly following the trend in Europe than the trend in US or in China. In Australian market, the trend is much similar to what we have seen in the US market. We can see that the growth we have seen in the Australian market and the growth we have seen in the US market are almost similar. In US market, it was 0.16% growth. In the Australian market, the difference is just better growth, a slightly better growth than what we have witnessed in the US market. That is a 0.39% growth we have witnessed in the Australian market. At the beginning, the market was somewhere near 8199.60. From there, the market has reached 8224.20. That is a 0.39% growth in the Australian market. That brings us to a view that today the larger global market is giving a mixed view of the trends. There are markets which are showing a clear upward momentum, like China, US, India, and Australia, and there are markets which are showing a clear sign of downward momentum. And the major downward momentum we have witnessed is in Japan, Europe, and South Africa. And if we analyze deeper, we can say that even though the European market's downward momentum is almost conclusive in nature, Japan downward momentum we have witnessed is not that much conclusive in nature, because there are potential for the market to go further upwards, considering the fact that Japanese market has the potential to go up, because the major Chinese market, like major Asian markets like India and China is up, and even US market is showing an upward momentum. And when we consider the downward momentum we have witnessed in Europe, that downward momentum is not that worse as what we have witnessed in a very worst, very unpleasant day in the global market. If we should say that it is a very unpleasant day in the global market and it is completely favoring sellers, we should see a concrete fall in a market, at least a 2% fall in the market. That is not evident in any of the market except Japan, but Japan is in just the beginning stage of the day, and there are potential for the market to grow further up in the coming hours. That is our view, that is our analysis about the market right now. This analysis has been made to give a perfect view of the global market. I hope this analysis was helpful. Thank you for listening.